Hello and welcome to ICICIDirect. Today we're in an exclusive conversation with Rishi Nathany of MCX India to talk to him about what his expectations are from the much anticipated Union Budget 2022. Rishi, thank you very much for joining us on the show. I'm guessing it's busy times for all of us. Big expectations being put out there to the finance minister as she unveils her third budget on the 1st of February 2022. I want to talk to you about what the commodity sector is largely expecting from this budget. Recently, I even know that the Commodity Participants Association had made a proposition to waive off the commodity transaction tax to boost trading volumes. From an MCX perspective and representing the largest commodity exchange in the country, what is your expectation from the finance ministry? How do you think the government should be looking at commodity transaction tax? Because it really has yielded very little revenue and destroyed the national market volume, I believe, by 60%.
So thanks, Amina, for having me here. And it's a pleasure to be here on this conversation with you. Regarding CTT, yes, the volumes in commodity markets have suffered substantially ever since CTT has come in. And various market participants have been asking for abolishment of CTT, or at least if not, then a reduction in CTT. And it would help commodity markets to a large extent if CTT was done away with or rationalized downwards, so that market participants, the cost of trading could come down, because today the cost of hedging or trading in India is one of the largest across the world. It is very high. So if the cost of trading is lower, it would always help all the market participants to actively participate in this market at a lower cost.
Right. Well, I want to just elaborate a little bit more on that, Rishi. In case the government wishes to retain CTT, what else can be done? Can CTT be treated as tax paid, not an expense? Largely because then there's a tax rebate element that comes into play. This also, I'm assuming, could be a correction of an unfair double taxation, you think?
Yes, so the market participants have also been asking for that in case CTT can't be done away with or reduced, at least the benefit of it being treated as a prepaid tax should be there, so that they could get that tax benefit.
Right. Rishi, any other broad taxation measures that you're expecting from the finance minister beyond CTT?
So there is a small irritant in deliveries on commodity markets, which we have been representing to the GST authorities, which is that, we are saying that IGST should be applicable on all commodity transactions where deliveries happen across the country, because there could be a participant, say, who's registered in Maharashtra and sitting in Mumbai and wants to take delivery, say, in Kolkata or in Chennai or in Delhi. Now, a participant may not be registered in all the places. However, if IGST is applicable, then it makes life a lot easier. Otherwise, SGST or CGST being applicable makes life a bit tough for people to get. And there is no loss to the government per se, because the revenue would be the same.
Right. Rishi, let's move away from taxation. Any other sort of areas where you think some intervention by the FM at the union budget could be helpful? For example, recently we've seen a number of contracts being suspended. What could be the way ahead in this aspect? Can we expect the FM to intervene and tell us how or what would be the best way ahead for the industry?
But well, I don't know whether it would be in the budget or not, but it takes a lot of time to set up a contract, make it liquid, get adequate market participation into it. And commodity futures contracts act as a benchmark for price views, price direction, for hedging, and price risk management. Not only price risk management, but also price discovery. So in that sense, it is very important to have commodity futures contracts available for various market participants to trade in. So in case the government in its wisdom feels that certain commodity contracts should be suspended, I feel that at least there should be a mechanism where a rational decision can be taken, maybe through a committee of independent experts, or there could be a laid down process under which conditions would a contract be suspended, so that it is not overnight, it is not a sudden shock to the market, because then market participants may lose confidence when the contract is reintroduced.
Right. Also, very lastly, Rishi, I want to ask you and help our viewers understand this better. Can the finance minister or can the union budget do anything to encourage hedging by domestic participants? Because this, again, is a huge market where the platform should be used not just for speculation, but very importantly for hedging, because that really is the core of why this even exists.
Yes, so exactly. See, a market is made of various participants, and hedgers are an integral part of this market. However, we see that many large hedgers are hedging in international exchanges as compared to domestic exchanges. Now, the government could hopefully, if they can, mandate that a certain percentage of the exposure which is hedged has to be hedged in domestic exchanges. That could not only boost volumes in domestic exchanges, but also bring revenue to the government in terms of various taxes it gets, and boost participation, liquidity, and depth in the market, which in turn will attract more other participants into this market. So that is one thing. Secondly, domestic prices, I believe, should be introduced as benchmarks for various activities instead of international prices. Say, for example, for fixing customs duty or earmarking export incentives or tendering by state-owned firms, if prices discovered on domestic exchanges for various commodities could be used as the benchmark, it would further bolster the importance of domestic pricing.
Right. Thank you very much, Rishi, for that. The countdown for the Union Budget 2022 has begun, and a wish list for the Union Finance Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman, from various sectors is ready. The big expectation or request, rather, from the commodity market is no different. It is urging the government to remove the commodity transaction tax, amongst other things. Thank you, Rishi. Great talking to you today.
Thank you, Samina. Pleasure.
Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all related documents carefully before investing.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon to never miss an update from ICICI Direct.